Hey, welcome along to another episode of Behind the Bar podcast, brought to you by the coaches and clients of RT Fitness Durham, Sunderland, and the Barbell Club, where we take you from complete beginner to photo shoot ready. So before we start, we have our new Barbell studio opening up in concert, and that's on Monday, the September 11th. Also now we've rolled out our online program as well for the Barbell Club itself. So we're taking anyone in the country who's looking to get in incredible shape and to get photo shoot ready with us as well. We've been playing behind the scenes. We've got already a nice handful of clients on there, and now we can roll it out with our units being very full for the Barbell Club. So today's episode, we have Mark Byrne. He is an online coach himself and personal trainer. He gets people in incredible shape. He actually did a photo shoot with camera guy Luke at our unit, and he shares his methods on the hows, whats and whys of how he gets his clients into shape, and all round top bloke. He's doing really good work out there, and for me it's always good to be able to talk to people who's doing pretty much the same as we're doing, just helping the everyday person be the very best versions of themselves. So the links below are for our programs as well, and you'll also be able to check Mark out on Instagram. His link will be below this as well. So click it all, check them out. If you need any help at all from us, just click the links as well below. So enjoy this one. Hello. So who is Mark Byrne?
Mark Byrne, personally or professionally?
Who is he? Just both.
God,
just a mixture.
A hard question.
I know it is. That's why I like saying it.
I am my business very much. Like it's
right.
a big, massive part of my life. At least it is for now. Tough question. Yeah.
I'll do that long pause now.
Nightmare. Honestly, I haven't got an answer for you there. Can you segment the question down anymore?
Segment the question. Who is Mark Byrne? Personal life.
Personal life. I don't really have one. All right. Okay. Business. No.
Well, who's the business life?
So I would like to think that I'm a leader of a large group of people that's only expanding more, who are looking to better themselves. Through the entry level of it being physically, but it carries over into everything else. So everything I do in my day-to-day life is sort of based around that as well, to try and be that leader, to like match up to the standards.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just a guy trying to hold some higher standards. Just a guy.
Right, perfect. And so you're an online coach. Do it in-house?
I do, yes.
Right. Okay.
It is kind of becoming the add-on to the business. It was what I started out becoming a personal trainer.
Right.
And I've transitioned now more so into the online space. So one-to-one is kind of making its way out the business.
Yeah.
But to me, they're two completely separate businesses now. It was all one whole thing for me at first. In fact, I valued PT a lot more. I thought, how can online work? You need that in-person connection.
I've had them thoughts for years as well. Yeah,
and it's like I couldn't even justify charging like a lot of money for the online coaching, just because I thought it's just not worth it. I didn't value it. And then you start to actually put the effort in and utilize what we have like this day and age, like in terms of you can give everything that you can give in person pretty much and actually be more efficient with it. It's one of probably the only jobs that you can do that with. So, yeah, I do both, basically, is the answer to your question. Yeah.
In that, so like how many years have you done this?
5 years now. 5 years I've been a PT. Yeah. For online coaching, it's probably been 2 years, so not as long, but I think obviously the knowledge crossovers, it's there, isn't it, the whole time?
Yeah, so the thing is where you're saying like you didn't value that online stuff. You put 3 years worth of like in however many hours a week, which is a lot.
Yes.
Understanding it, so that knowledge can be easily passed into online.
Yes, definitely. I think like I said, I don't want to like go too fast into it. I want to try and, because you can dissect this quite a lot and you can get a good conversation out of it. But when you start out as a personal trainer, you as a person, you don't really know who you want to work with specifically. If you do, then that's great. You're going to go quite far, quite quick, I think. But you would just work with anyone, really, won't you? You'll work with anyone at all, because you don't know who you work best with. And you try to build a business, and you just want as many, you want a full diary, you want to be getting on the gym floor. But that, obviously, you learn a lot of lessons there. When you move more so into the online space, because you have to cut through the noise, because it's vast, you have to know who exactly it is you want to work with. So you're kind of rushed along to be like, right, come on, decide now. You can't work with this array of people, or at least you can't on the level that you want it to be, like a really like passionate and deep level that I think it has to be for that person to, you know, for you to be earning the right for them to pay you money to do what you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes sense. And like, that's not saying, because I have a vast array of clients.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to say that, but
it's good for experience, though.
Yeah.
Like, especially PT, and like
100%.
when you Doris 48, needs to lose 4 stone, or someone like maybe is wanting to get lean for Ibiza.
Yeah.
Who's younger,
definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
I have clients like that, like honestly, and they are some of the like biggest characters in my life right now. You know, like the older ladies or something like that, and you know they've like the life advice they give you, or you know, you need that in your career, 100%. But for me, it's like I basically train myself now. That's who I want to work with. I want to work with males between the ages of 25 and 35, and it sounds very specific, but this is just how I break it down in my head, who don't necessarily want to be bodybuilders, but they want to get into the shape of bodybuilders, right? And it's not just that's what it is, it's because they want to remove that kind of pain. Like everyone who's in fitness, I think, has an element. It's come from some sort of pain. And like, I know it sounds a bit dark and a bit, you know, but it's some form of pain. And just to push the boundaries, get into the best possible shape that you can. Like that photo shoot that we did here recently, that was what it was about. And I kept reminding them all. I'd put them into a separate group chat, the 5 people who were doing it with them. I'm like, right, I know this is hard. I know it's going to get harder, but trust me, and I've never done it before either, so I was like, kind of blagging in a little bit. Trust me when I say, this is the best thing you will do, and you will push the boundaries to see what you're actually capable of, because we get too comfortable, and it's like, right, I've done this, and I've got, no, you can push more, you can do a little bit more. And I'd selected those people, like, wisely. I wasn't, like, reckless with it. Like, I knew these people had, like, a strong head and the shoulders. They trained for a little bit, and they had it in them to do it, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I went on a tangent a bit there. So.
No, it's good. I mean, like, you probably answered the next question. It was going to be, who do you help and why? Mm-hmm. But I think...
Yeah, so it's primarily lads, whether or not they feel like they're not noticed, they don't have presence, they feel inadequate around other men, which is a horrible feeling, because it just completely shuts you down personally. And this is what I've felt. If you're, I mean, I use gym as a setting. Let's say you're in the pub even, right? And there's all big lads around you, and you're a skinny guy. This is my example. It could be there's various different ones. You know, and maybe the girls aren't noticing you, or maybe they're piping up louder than you and everyone's laughing at the joke. Do you know what I mean? Just little things like this where you can't get your true personality across, and you come away from a situation, you feel shit. And it might happen. So can you swear on this?
Yeah.
That might happen 5-6 times over the course of a couple of months, and like you just feel like this big then. You know what I mean? And it's like having a bit of presence when you walk in the room. I say that a lot. Presence when you walk in the room, like your head's held high. You feel good whether or not.
Clothes fit nice.
You know. You get the chance to put yourself across properly. That's you now. You know what I mean? So.
Those are the people.
Those are the people, yeah.
Brilliant. Love it. So what's the benefits of online coaching versus in-house PT? I think we have covered a little bit there, but no,
I can go a bit deeper with that one because
I'm interested in this, obviously, the conversation just before.
Definitely. This is an interesting one to me, and this is what I was a bit bit wary of saying, so I want you to kind of come back at me with this one.
Okay, right. Yeah, mint.
Because it's like, I love PT. I do love it. But I'm going to be truthful with it like as much as I can. So online coaching, I feel, you're going to get better results because the type of client that it attracts is relatively competent in the gym. They're relatively confident and they're already kind of at this level. And you've got to think it's always moving up levels, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're usually here. Like they've probably dabbled a little bit, not quite got to where they want to be. So you're taking them to that next stage, and that's always really exciting because it's like, wow. Whereas when you, as a coach, one-to-one PT, and this is something that, you know, you kind of can fall into, you might show them something and they learn it excellent, you know, because you can perfect the technique. That's one thing that they probably do have like as a benefit, is that one-to-one PT clients will be perfect with the technique, the form, their intensity when they're with you.
Yeah.
When they're not with you, they're a little bit like, oh, what was he saying again? Do you know what I mean? Whereas you're not forced to go into that independent, like switch on, get in the zone, right? This is just me now. You're not having someone shout at you. You should be able to do that yourself in a way. Like, would you enjoy being PT'd by someone? Training?
One-to-one, I think the odd session here and there, like to get pushed. Like if I wanted, I don't know, say Luke, for example. Yeah. Luke, I need my legs destroying. I've been a twat the last few...
Legs is an anomaly, like.
Yeah, I've been a twat the last few weeks. Like, I haven't pushed myself, so it's like, right, take us through a session. Probably along them lines. But for me, to be with someone, say, because like, we know we've got to be training at least 3 times a week to get in good shape. Like, say for me to be with somebody 4 days a week, going through that process would be quite probably daunting on me just by myself in that scenario.
Yeah.
If you get us,
I think I know what you mean. For me, it would be, I'd have to work on someone else's time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to like listen to my music. I'd have to talk to them, you know. And yeah, I mean, I think like sometimes when you're in the middle of a heavy set, let's say, you're in the zone. I don't even like people near me. I don't know, that's just me. Yeah. But that's just for me anyway. I think you need it to be shown the foundational skills and stuff like that, for 100%. And you need someone to show you. Like I remember when I first became a PT, and I thought I knew it all, I won't lie. And at the time in the gym, the team of PTs that were working there were wicked. We had like Team GB athletes, strong men, so it was just a vast array of people.
That's pretty good.
So I'd be deadlifting and someone would go, what was that? Not tight to the bar, you're not using your legs enough, you're using your back. And I'm thinking, I thought that was mint. That was a PB that. You know what I mean? So like, having someone to point that out and that took me on leaps and bounds. But like, I just think, the online coaching is so much more cutting through the bullshit. It's like, the first 20 minutes of a one-to-one PT session can be, how was your weekend? How's the dog? How's the cat? How's the wife? Oh, well, I was doing this at the weekend. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Whereas in an online coaching setting, you're talking directly about the data that needs to be tracked.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time you can have conversations where when it does need an emotional and deep conversation, that's there to be had, and you set time aside for it. But other than that, it is just like, let's graph and get you to where you want to be. I think it's just faster, more efficient results.
Do you think because, I mean, what I actually like, not personal training, obviously we run the small group PT stuff, and what I like about that, especially for those clients, is the competition side of things.
Yeah, like that.
They look at each other's numbers on the boards.
Yes.
And like you'll see people, even when they first start, they'll be like looking along, like, I'll get them. So that's what I like about that. But personal training to online, to me, what I've figured out, and probably just over the last few weeks, to be fair, is like, because it's not cheap online. Like people might think you've got these £10 subscription people and all the rest of it, which you're going to get fuck all from.
Well, you get what you pay for.
Well, exactly.
It's like anything.
And if you're actually getting one-to-one personally trained online, and for the price what you pay, you're going to do it.
100%.
And if someone's on your back and you've just, like they say, do the program, get the results. Fucking track this, do this. I'll check in with you once a week, something like that. And I'll go through the data, tell you what to do, you must do it.
The other thing with that as well is, because I kind of work through a process.
Right.
And this is with everyone, but it's just easier that way. So having obviously, first of all, the first things first, and that's one of the things you get as well is, like, you get people really struggling to outline their own goal. So it's like, right, I just want to lose weight. And it's just so vague, so vast that it can just be tossed aside. The person who says that with less body fat to lose, but the person that has a lot of body fat to lose will go, I want to lose 21.5 kilo by January. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I want to do it this way. I can commit 4 times this week. Just everything's accurate. You can work with that and be like, right, at this point here, you're going to be that way. At this point here, you're going to be that way. And they can see it and they can work it out, rather than, I just want to lose weight. And it's like, how much weight, when?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's us as coaches saying, why do you want to lose weight?
Yeah.
And then you break it down to why, and then it's generally, I hate looking at myself in the mirror, my boyfriend's going to leave us, X, Y, Z.
Go deeper. That's that pain. That's what I'm saying, like, about the pain. You need to find that pain, tune into that pain and be like, right, I'm going to do something about it. And there's something powerful in that, even just stepping up and be like, no, I'm not accepting that for myself. Do you know what I mean? But the other thing was, a start and an end date. That start and an end date is, it's the time frame you set for yourself creates that urgency. You're like, right, I've got 4 weeks left. Like, Luke's on prep now. Yeah. I think he said 4 weeks left. He's not just going to jack it in now. He's still
smiling.
Sort of. He's not just going to jack it in now. In fact, he's going to probably push harder.
Yeah.
And that's what I found when we came and did this, and all of the guys were like this. Like, as it got closer, they got better and better and better and better, and like everything was just getting more and more harder. I was reducing food, cardio's going up, but they're getting better and more efficient. And I found that with everything. This is what I keep trying to tell people. It's one of them things, isn't it, when you like experience something yourself, you want to tell everyone. And like, my house was tidier. I was meal prepping. Everything was bang on. Like, there wasn't a dish not washed. Like, everything was just so regimented because it had to be. And I just thought that is so incredible that doing something like a process like that can, project to the rest of your life and inject to the rest of your life. And like, that's why I was sort of like, I don't ever want to come out of prep now.
How long did you do the prep?
So this is the interesting part as well. I did 8 weeks by myself and another 8 weeks with a coach. The 8 weeks by myself, don't get me wrong, it was a bit further away, so maybe that had a part to play. You're a bit like, I've got loads of time. Yeah. But it was half-assed, and it was just doing what I'd always done. It was just dieting. Oh yeah, I'm a bit hungry. I might have a little bit. Using my Fitness Pal, but my Fitness Pal, you can be a bit cheeky with my Fitness Pal and leave it. And then I hired a coach. He's called JJ. I hadn't had a coach in a long time as well, and I think that was a big game change for me. But that word just hasn't left my vocabulary since. Just dialing in straight away. In that 8 weeks, I couldn't believe it. Like, having to check in, having to take a photo of yourself every week. Yeah. You have to show up for yourself on that Friday morning after you've had a piss and you've weighed yourself. You go take a photo, for your check-in. Yeah. That was a show up for yourself as well, and you have to visually look at it and be like, right, this is where we're at now, and you watch it yourself. 16 weeks, and as it got harder, I got more efficient in life, business, everything. Loved it.
Were you smiling at the end?
I actually was, I'm not even joking. I enjoyed it that much that I didn't feel that. I think there was probably more levels to go to. I think bodybuilders go maybe even like 7 or 8 pounds lighter than what I was. Yeah. And I was light. I was the lightest I've ever been. So I can imagine that starts to get pretty tough. But I think I had I was in a fortunate position in that I knew what was coming. I knew what to expect. Yeah. I knew my sex drive would be low. I knew that, I knew all the downsides of it basically.
Were you getting, because when I did my very first one with our first lot of clients, I was like, whenever somebody say wouldn't come in a little bit lighter the next week or anything like that, I was getting fucking pissed off.
What, at the client or at yourself?
Yeah, at the clients.
Right, yeah.
Generally, probably it's just took like me and Sarah in the house. Fucking, she hasn't fucking.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I was getting super frustrated with the clients because it was like I was putting the effort in.
I'm doing it. Where are you at?
All of me effort into the clients as well.
Yes. Oh,
did you get that?
100%. Do you not still get that?
Well, I do.
No.
I do, but I do taper back now.
Yeah. No, of course. I totally agree. Yes. But that was something I'd noticed that I'd picked up on anyway, like getting in that shape, doing that, it was all carrying over to them. So in the client WhatsApp group right now, that's where we like say kind of communication point. There's what is it now? 65 people in there, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like, it's so strange, like when they're all going, and it's pinging constantly. I can feel it now in my pocket, like vibrating. It's pinging constantly, everyone's firing, everyone's giving each other food tips, getting a bit competitive with stuff. And when they're all flat, they're all flat. And because I was kind of firing on all cylinders, you know, putting stuff in the group all the time. Look at this little diet hack I'm doing, right? I'm out of my steps. You know, it was all kind of coming together. It was working like that. So, but yeah, there was an element of why can't you just do this in a way, I guess. But yeah, no, I think it was, that's what I'm saying. It just carried over into, it felt like everything was just moving in the same direction that I was. So it felt really good. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I just want to stay lean.
It's mad. Like what I can probably take away from you is what I took away myself as well, where you're saying you want to stay like that bit leaner. Mm-hmm. So say those habits of those 16 weeks, what you've put in place, I'm going to ask if you've stuck to them. Mm-hmm. I feel as though you have. I mean, correct us if I'm wrong.
I've stuck to them, but I haven't stuck to them. So this was again from the coach that I'm using, and I met him. I went to an event in London, like a coaching event, and he was there, and we were speaking about it. And I was like, saying exactly what I said to you there. I was like, I don't ever want to come out of this. Like everything feels really good. And he said, you don't. You diet year round. Like even when you're putting more food away, even when you're, you know, doing whatever, you never let go of it. It's still all regimented, and especially if that's carrying over to everything else, it carries across. And I thought, you know, that's really interesting. So still weighing all my food, still tracking, still logging every lift. Like I wasn't that far away from it, but I'm still quite dialed in. However, I'll allow myself, like literally on the way here, as I was coming out of the gym, some girl offered me a Lotus Biscoff cheese cake thing. I was like, obviously I'm going to have that. He's making them tomorrow. I'm obviously going to have that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had it on the way, and like it's not the end of the world because.
But you're still eating those foods from when you were dieting, though.
Exactly the same foods. Yes, I am.
So that odd bit here and there, that's called the balance bit now.
Yeah. And I do feel like getting to that point of being in shape allows you that freedom, because number one, you're never too far away from it, from being in really good shape, and number two, like, you know, you have that self-belief that you have what it takes, and that's a massive thing as well, isn't it? You know, knowing that you can get to that point if you need to. I'm sure when I'm a couple of months down the line and I've been out of that kind of mindset and I'm a little bit heavier, because that is the kind of the plan for me now anyway, it will be a lot harder to maintain this kind of strictness, if you like.
Yeah.
Or I don't like that. What's the word? What's a good word for that?
Regimentation.
Yeah. Regiment. Yeah. But no, I'm in a good spot right now anyway, personally, with my training, and I'm hoping it can keep carrying over to everyone else.
So we've done quite a lot of the photo shoots in the last few years. I don't even know what the percentage is of people, but they have like post shred, like just slump, don't know what to do with their life. And I mean, I don't even want to know how many people's just fucked it all up afterwards and went backwards, even with our reversing out, trying to get them there.
This is something that I made the guys very clear about, and I try to with everybody else. Most people who will do a transformation like I said, I'm really separating the photo shoot guys up because we use a lot of strategies that were intense. You know, we went really low with calories. We went really hard with cardio. It wasn't a sustainable. Isn't designed to be a sustainable thing.
We're not supposed to be that lean.
No, it's not. It's for 2 hours of a day. You know what I mean? Like straight away went and had burgers. Like it's not right. But there should always be a goal in front of you. There should always be a new challenge, because then it actually becomes really difficult, because you're a bit lost. And reversing out is a challenge in itself. You know, not just being like, right, where's the food? Let's go. You have to be like patient with yourself, you know, and reverse out properly. Otherwise, you'll just feel shit. And I didn't do that. Like, one night, went on a night out, then I went to Turkey on an all-inclusive holiday. I came back. And I felt
How long
awful.
after the photos?
Yeah.
Okay, right, fucking hell, right.
I planned it months before, and at the time it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I came back feeling watery, felt like shit, felt, you know, you're in that limbo of skinny fat kind of thing. Yeah. But, you know, it's a quick fix when you dial back in again. But, so I wanted to reverse them out properly, gradually increase the calories, keep the steps high, keep the cardio, and keep feeling fit, keep feeling good. Gradually start to increase the volume in the training sessions, gradually start to get the weights creeping back up again as well, you know, as in the lifts. And everyone's going well so far. A lot of them, in a kind of awkwardly, they want to stay lean because they've got events coming up like holidays and stuff. But so answer to your question, you know, coming out of a big goal, any goal though, this is the same in anything in life, innit? Once you achieve your goal, it's like, fuck, what do I do now? But you just got to keep climbing. That's how you progress, isn't it? For everything. So
it's hard, I think, because we're working with everyday people. It's not like they're athletes or anything like that. Is that for you as well, or some of them?
It's normal people, for sure. But they just want to get to that level.
So it's trying to get
strive for it,
to keep those habits within that cut, whatever you want to call it. Keeping, like, because you're going to be eating the same food, it's just going to be a little bit more.
Yeah, literally, I've said that.
But all they're thinking is, fucking, we're having a burger afterwards, we're having pizza, we're having chocolate, I'm going on my holidays, and I haven't had a drink for X amount of weeks.
Yes.
And then the same with the activity, where you said you try and keep the activity levels up. They've proven they can they've proven that they've got the time to actually get that activity level up.
Yeah.
And yet we sometimes say, right, you've got to hit 15,000 steps per day when we're doing this. And then literally 2 weeks later, I look at the steps charts and it's like 5,000, 4,000. It's like, you're doing what you were doing before, but you had the time.
I think what you sort of mentioned there was kind of an important part of it. Like, this is something I talk to my guys a lot about, like a big push forward phase and a pull back is important. So it's almost like you put the work in, you give yourself a reward, but that reward is only there to set up the next push. Yeah. Does that make sense? And that's so important, because if you're not working towards a reward at the end of the day, it's so easy to give it up. You're like, what am I even doing this for? Do you know what I mean? So if you can have this big reward, so the photo shoot might have been one for our guys then, and then, you know, the meal after, and the accolade of like everyone being like, well done, you smashed that, you know, and then what's next after that? The next goal is, you know, maybe packing on some more muscle, or maybe, I don't know, setting yourself a new goal in some way.
Yeah, a lift goal.
Yeah, anything like that. But pushing and pulling. So, and I always find this is something I've kind of implemented, like the bigger the push, the bigger and more extravagant you have the pull back as. So obviously mine in my head was, right, I'm going to do this photo shoot and I'm going to go to Turkey for 4 days, have a big break off work and everything, because work gets stressful as well. It's not just like, I'm not a professional athlete in fitness, I just love training. Yeah. So to diet down and be that dialed in alongside running a business that, you know, is managing so many other people is like mentally hard. It wasn't physically hard for me personally. It just wasn't. Like, I work in a gym, I'm there all the time, I train a lot, body's probably used to that standard of like intensity, but mentally it's testing. So that's a big pull back to go away for 4 days and just, you know, shut off. But when I come back, well, ideally, I should be ready to go again, but even bigger. So now the push is even further. You know, it might have been 2 weeks, now it's 4 weeks, now it's 6 weeks. But that's every time you're doing a big push like that, and the bigger it's getting, your progression is just, you know, going even more on an upward trend. That's the thought, anyway. I can't remember your question. I keep going all over it.
Sorry.
You can't shut me up. Shouldn't have had a monster. Like, do you eat out of, you know, do you eat out quite a bit?
Yeah.
I don't mean.
Do you not?
No, I feel like really out of control with it.
Do you? Right.
Yeah. I do. Like, if I'm not, you know, but yeah, I try to recommend people not to eat out.
Right.
Obviously,
I try to recommend people not to eat out.
Yeah.
I definitely try to recommend them. It's just for me, like for us, probably it'll either be one lunch somewhere a week or one takeaway a week, like for me and Sarah.
Do you know what I found? I don't know if this is still going or whatever, but because for a long time I would use like protein puddings and the protein drinks and stuff as like a way to get your protein up and stuff like that. And now, like, I think they're, because when you remove them from like your grasps, you're a bit lost and you're very short and like you're a bit all over with it. So I think even them, I'll try to say, right, try and make these things yourself, or try and replace it with proper foods. Try and cook at home, because it's just so much easier when you make your food yourself. And it's just so often overlooked, I think, to like just make that your priority, because it's a massive part of it. And if you want to get into the best possible shape, you're going to have to do that eventually.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the earlier you learn, men especially, like lads especially, are just like, nah, don't cook me, do not cook.
Yeah.
So you need to learn how to cook.
I'm the cook in my house, like.
Yeah. Oh, I probably wouldn't cook for no one else. I'm not saying it's gourmet shit. It's protein and that's that.
Same. Do you know what it is on the whole thing? Like, because I mean, we like for the last while, like all of us, like the coaches and that, it's like, look, I just pick a handful of breakfast, handful of lunch, handful of tea, rotate.
Staples, that's what I say. Staple meals, rotate. Because how often do you actually change the foods you eat in a month, really?
When they're not dieting, when they are dieting, I need more variety. Has anybody got any protein meal ideas? Has anybody got this? Has anybody got that? And it's like, you have that same bag of crisp chocolate bar every single day.
All the time. That's what you like.
You have fish and chips Friday. You have fucking lasagna Thursday.
It's true though. That's what I'm saying. I say to people, how often, when you actually think about it, do you have a new food in your life? It's very rare, unless you're on holiday, you're in another city, or you're going to someone introduces you to. Well, how often does that happen?
And that's not. It
just doesn't really happen, does it? So like, that's just a limiting belief in their head, that. But I'll send them these mad cookbooks, like by these, you know, Sean Casey and Zach Chug and stuff. So they've got it there. If they want it there, you can have a go with that. But the likelihood of you making it and getting like 170 grams of baking flour out of, you know what I mean? Just like all these mad ingredients to create this.
Well, you can't get from our shop.
You're not gonna do it. What I was going to ask you there, I had a question for you. It come to my head. Do you have kids?
Yes, 3.
Okay. This is just a...
go for it.
You know when you have kids, right? Are you inclined, being a fitness professional, to like think how much of a superhuman can I make this like child? Like if I give them protein and like, you know, well-balanced diet and get them sort of pumping the milk bottle up and like biceps and that.
So it's hard because they'll only do what they want to do. You can't push them into... Like obviously all of them, like, my oldest is 14, so 14, 10 and 4. And to get them, say, in the gym, doing anything like that, eating well, like so Jake, my oldest, 14, he's only just getting into, he's done Thai boxing for the last few years. Yeah. But he's only just getting into weightlifting himself.
Sick.
So he actually goes to the gym by himself, and then when I'll take him up here now. Exactly. And he's but he's frustrating as fuck. Okay, because it's like I've given programs over the years to do. He never does it. I've put him on our app and he can follow our.
I just need more with the food though. Like they don't really have a say. I remember not really having a say what I had. I didn't really care either. I just eat it.
So when the olders are at mine, I know they're eating better. It's always high protein.
High protein, yeah.
Always high protein with them. They're always eating good foods with me. I know at the mums, like, it can be different, and I can't control that. So I've just got to do the best what they can, because me two oldest from my previous. So we just control it. My 4-year-old, he fucking won't eat protein. This is the mad thing. Like, you want to.
Oh, it's good in the milk bottle, eh? Scoot away.
He'll have. Well, I don't drink shakes, so that's.
Eat bowls of broccoli because I have loads of it.
Yeah.
This is what I think about. I'm a weird guy, mate.
No,
I
go
think
for
about
it,
it all the
yeah.
time, and I'm like, when I have a kid, they're just going to be vascular.
I would have loved that. Honestly, like, the amount, especially when they were Jake and Dexter when they were younger, like, trying to get them in here, trying to get them to lift. And don't get us wrong, Dexter, when he was 4, could do 5 full chin-ups like no problem. And Jake fucking couldn't even climb like a fence this big. Like, he could, like, the middle one could climb up the bunk beds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what I have done though, for say strength-wise, where they haven't noticed, where like trying to get them in the gym wasn't happening, so we wrestle all the time.
Yeah.
And like that pushing and pulling all the time, so it's like all 3 of them wrestle each other now, like in the house. It's constant, like, and it's just boys. So that I can see that's where they're getting that like man strength type stuff from. Definitely. Without having to train them.
Definitely.
So it's a little thing I do for them, and then obviously the high protein meals at our house. So yeah, I try and do it away, but it all comes down to there, because they've got their own personality from birth. Like, Jake was literally a dump. He would just sit there. You could put him in front of a telly and just leave him. You could go to the shop if you wanted to. Well, I didn't, but he would be a dump. And then Dexter, he'd be climbing up the roof and all the rest of it. And same with Castor, he just climbs everywhere. And I don't know, the personalities are there. But now Jake, 14, has finally took it, even though I thought he was a lazy little shit all his life. So yeah, there's that. Well, we're getting here. What's your business goals, and how far do you think you can take it?
Business goals. So
this is just me wanting to know.
how far you can take it is completely on me, because this industry, fitness industry, is, so progressive.
Yeah.
Like, so progressive. You can go so far with it because it's so powerful, such a powerful thing. Like, I honestly believe it is the entry level, or the easiest way to develop into like the best human you can be. Literally the easiest way, because it's just physically, you can just go and do that.
Yeah.
Mental stuff's quite difficult, especially for men, I think, to tap into. It takes a lot of work. Physically, you can just go physically do it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's worth its weight in gold. And if you can facilitate that for people, and you're good at it, and you're getting better, and now you're the best, like, you can go where you deserve to go, wherever in the world. You can do whatever you want, because that's invaluable stuff. Like, what else out there are people selling that gives people that? You know what I mean? And without any kind of, there's not really, I know people, you probably loosely find some like negativity in the fitness industry with, certain people promoting shit supplements or something, or fucking, I don't know, whatever you hear about. But in comparison to other industries, which is really darker and people are getting fucked over left, right, and centre, we are in like the I don't know, the most respectful. Oh, my words, it's shocking, man. Sorry, I'm trying.
It's okay. You don't have to swing.
I think there's the most words. It gives people a purpose. That's the biggest thing. And like, for men especially, it's easier for me to speak on men really. For men especially, you need a purpose in life, and it's hard to find one. It's hard to discover it. But when you're physically doing something, you're working towards something. When you are physically taking the steps to do it, it's giving you that purpose every single day. So yeah, sorry, in my business. So my business, I just want to keep expanding my team and keep making it bigger.
So have you got a team of like?
I don't have another coach.
Okay, right.
That is my goal.
Yeah.
I would like to have a team of maybe 3-5 coaches.
Right.
Within the next 6 to 8 months, I'd love to have that. I want to keep getting world-class, elite level results. Yeah. Just leaving no doubt on the table. I want to just keep on making a massive impact. I love the town that I'm from as well, and I want to keep, getting that kind of, just getting more well known in the town as well. Like, I feel like that's a nice feeling for me, because one of the things that like I thrive on isn't necessarily like money. It's
right.
more, I really like, it's just something that's been drilled into me. I love the idea of being respected. That's a big thing for me. So if I can keep that going, I'm fulfilled, because I'm getting exactly what I want out of that. Do you know what I mean? Out of the business. Yeah. So respect and...
With the results, then it's the respect, and then the monetary side
comes with it, hopefully.
Well, it does.
It does.
How can it not? That's the thing, because like results are currency.
Yes.
In a way.
Yeah.
And like if you're churning them out, it's like you will become that authoritative figure.
Yeah.
And like people will come to you, and without a doubt, then the business does boom.
Yeah. And it's not just that what that result is as a picture on Instagram or whatever else. It's the depth that it goes to. It's the amount of people it inspires. It's the amount of families. Like one of the lads, Macca, like.
Class name.
Yeah. But,
that's
like,
a proper
I remember,
northern name.
He's called Macaulay. He's not called
He
Macca,
must not Bob.
But he was, the night before the photo shoot, we came and did the photo shoot, and he was in the front room with all his family, in his boxers with his tan on, posing, sending pictures. And I just love that. I love that his whole family is there with him, involved in it and seeing it happen. And like, I just love that. I love every aspect of that. And it makes you think like every person you've ever worked with, who you've got a result with, who you've made a massive impact on, that's trickled into their family. They're all seeing them when they come at Christmas. Oh my God, look at you look amazing. Yeah. That's fucking sick. That's unreal, isn't it?
How after that shoot, because we've got an event here tomorrow, and it's on a shoot. It's in-house fucking craziness tomorrow. But me and Sarah always like, we'll go away tired, but then it's like, fucking hell, what we've done.
Yeah.
How did you feel after that shoot for you?
Yeah. One, very, very proud. Didn't sink in until right at the end, and we took like a team photo.
Yeah.
And just massively proud. I loved that they'd given everything for me, like, and not for themselves, but to the process. And I loved that giving everything into it. Like that meant a lot to me. And I'm massively proud. And I don't like saying that. I never say that. I never say proud, because I feel like, especially when you try to focus and you try to grow, you just go, don't you? You don't ever stop. Sometimes try to get better at, but you never stop where you are and go, hold on. Yeah, I've done fucking well here. You just head down, burying your head, aren't you, and just digging. And that was one of them moments for me that forced me to sort of stop and be like, look at where we are now. This is good. Yeah,
it's the same for us, especially after our photo shoots, and they share the pictures, and you see like the comments streaming in on their thing, and it's like amazing, fucking hundreds. They fucking get more likes than me. But, they get all them on their pages, and it's like everyone's seeing it, and they're super proud. And then as soon as one posts them, all of the rest start posting the photos, and it's in the stories and everything else. And some people who you never thought would post them as well.
100%. Oh, there's some of the people who there's the two lasses would never have like done that. I don't think, honestly.
Right, okay.
I don't think they would have. And they put the work in, and then I don't know. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. They would never have said they would have done it like a year ago. They'd be like, nah, wouldn't see me getting baby oil on me and going in front of the camera. Do you know what I mean? But it's just amazing. It's an amazing achievement, I think, to get yourself in the best shape and then be standing there confidently, like, look, like this is what I've achieved.
Because it's nerve-wracking for them.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, when I just dived in first. I'm going first. I'll go first.
You have to. You have to, though. That's the thing. Yeah. And I know the feeling for you, because it's always been the feeling for us when we do it. Like, I've always been nervous at the start, especially the first one, when we're nervous to do it with people. But I think this isn't me trying to give you advice here or anything.
No,
like that.
100%.
But they get better. You can make them more funner.
Yeah.
Like, we have the music on and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And some of them who's did it before. I mean, Deb, she's fucking mint. She's our mean, she's 57, 58.
Incredible.
And she's done it twice, ripped to bits, Nana. Hey? Yeah, she's like, it'll be 3 years in a row she's done it.
Incredible. Well, that's her accountability to doing it. Like, that's the big goal at the end every time. Like, that's what we've kind of touched on today a lot.
It is, yeah.
So fair play to her.
And she for the team, like, she just loves oiling people up. She does. She runs around oiling people up.
I was loving it a bit much, like.
Oh, yeah. Get it up. But that's the thing. It's like, it's an awkward situation for anyone.
Yeah.
But if you're just going for, gives you back, come here, I'll do it for you.
And that was the other thing after as well. Like, after we all left, and we sat down. We went to that tango in Durham, the bird place.
Yeah.
All sat down. And it was just like everyone was chatting, and you know what I mean. I don't know where I'd gone. Probably to pay for the scran anyway.
Right.
Oh, you owe me. But no, I came back and they were all chatting. It was like a lively table, they bonded and that, and I loved that as well. That was another proud sort of little flash of a moment. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's doing them here would be huge for you lot, because all these pushing yourself that much, the competitive side for that must be massive as well. It's like, right now I'm going to be in the photo shoot here, I need to graft.
We're training together each day as well, so like when there's a handful of them together doing it, it's like, I mean, we hate them stepping on the spot, don't we? Yep, I know.
Why?
Like, do you know, in between the sets, fucking...
Stepping on the spot?
Yeah, like fucking, like stepping on the spot.
Like they're that desperate to get
like to get the steps up, and it's like you're shouting over, get fucking your set. Do you know what I mean? But generally when they're together, they're pushing each other as well, because we will put like an extra session on a Saturday as well, so it's only the shred people who come in on that, so they know they've got to focus in on it,
right?
Or helping each other out along the way. And because of the Sunderland and Durham, I mean, they're quite close in any way. Community, because we always get together for events, but they all know each other. So then when they get together, it is brilliant for them. Like,
what's next for your business then?
Cheers. I mean, we're opening a concert unit, and that's just for our Barbell. So it's like a small studio up there. Dan, our coach of 9 years, found the place, and it was just like, he wanted it. So it was like, let's do it. Because he only does the mornings here, so he's going to do the night. It's a walking step for him. Obviously, we've launched all the online stuff now, getting clients in for that, which we're buzzing about, because obviously talking to you, and probably talking to like Luke, Matty, all the rest of it, it's like where we didn't do online previously, to what they get for online coaching, and where I've looked at other online programs, there's such a good market for it. And the results, what we're going to get from that, I think will match our in-house.
It's a whole new market. It's a whole new market that it opens you up to. It limits any restraint as well, limits any it removes any limit. There's no limitation to it. Like you say, you've got a client from
Australia,
So I've got a couple of clients from Australia.
Chrissy, if you're watching randomly.
That's crazy, isn't it? And you can still have that personable conversation and still kind of know where that person is. You know, they're on the other side of the world, but you know how much water they've drank today. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
How many steps she's done?
So that'll be a massive propeller for you. Huge.
In-house, we're pretty maxed out on Barbell here, I think. Yeah, we are. We're pretty maxed out. Our group training's just booming as well. Sunderland unit, we opened up the Barbell downstairs from there this year. That's absolutely booming. But to be fair, we nearly have full capacity on each. And then we're only going to take a handful in concert. So that's probably why a little bit pushed through the online.
So do you as a group of coaches who work here, obviously, do you kind of network with other coaches at all?
Yes.
Obviously, this is a form of networking, like we're having a conversation here. So that's something I've found has been a massive help as well. Is networking with other coaches and seeing how they're doing things. And obviously, when you hire your own coach, you see how they do things as well. And I think that brings you up a bar as well. Like everyone brings you up a level.
Well, I've had business mentors over the year. So the first one was Chris Brown, and he like we'd always do meetups. So
Bring you together.
I've been to Croatia with him,
Wow.
Portugal, and like he's based in Liverpool, so we'd always go to Liverpool. And then when I was with previously with him, like a lot of events in Liverpool there. And I've met so many different, so that was more gym owners from there. So all the gym owners that I met from there, and that was back in 2015. I started with him, and now I'm part of with FMA, Fitness Marketing Agency. Just been down to Brighton a couple of weeks ago with them, and it's mad because like some of the people from back in the day who I was with from all over, like now them are like doing other things. I don't know, do you know like March On training?
Yeah. Ollie, what's his
and
face?
Jens. Jens, I was part of a coaching group with him, and now he's like part of this big thing with Ollie. And like we got pissed together in Croatia, and like
it's mad.
and now obviously doing that. But there's loads of people who I've met along the way, and I mean I pick people's brains. I'm like, what do you do? How do you do it? How do you do this? I've actually did a tour before where I went around a few gyms. And it was years ago before podcasts went. Well, it wasn't podcasts. It was like an Ask RT Fitness thing we did.
Right.
So I went around 3 gyms and like just sat with them because they were part of the coaching group. But obviously got to train with them, got to see how their systems worked.
Expanding your network as well massively. Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Because that's another thing why I think fitness industry is mad, because you spin so many plates and you have to be so many different things at once, don't you? You have to be a marketer, you have to be a therapist, you have to be all of these things, about maybe 8, 9, 10 different things, but you can tap into them and improve them. So like, and you know, I have essentially people helping me. When I actually sat and thought about this the other day, I was like, wow, that's mad. I've got about 4 different coaches. I've got someone who helps me with my physique. I go see a counsellor to help me with my mindset. I've got a business mentor. I've got...
Who's your business mentor?
Mark Coles.
Right, okay. Yes,
So it's a coaching concierge.
Sweet.
And...
Business mentor.
Business mentor. I think that's it. 3 coaches.
3 coaches.
My man. But no. So all of those things, you know, you need help with everything, and I think investing, the easiest thing to invest is just money, isn't it? Like,
well, of course it is.
And like, it's what you work hard for, and it always brings a return back. Those things as well, putting money in, like.
Well, before we started the online, we signed up with OTA as well. Even though I've got a business mentor for the gyms and stuff like that, like.
OTA was. Is that Adam Haley?
Yes, Adam Haley. So we've literally I got on phone to a few of them. Do you know what I mean? But I thought, well, if I'm actually going to go into the online world, I want to be shown how to do it properly. So it's like, of course, I'm going to hire a coach. I
would 100% recommend the one I'm in, because I like what I like about Mark Coles.
I've just paid for a year. Like,
sorry, mate. You're shy. Adam Haley, I've heard. No, but I like that they focus on values and beliefs and stuff like that, and it's not just like money. It's like based on values and your long-term vision is a big thing they push, and I think it's mad how business and fitness are so similar. I say it to my clients all the time. It's like, it is just exactly the same, which gives me a good feeling, because if you can be good at fitness, then you can probably be good at business, because it is so similar. It's tracking data. It's, you know,
putting the reps in
100%. You know, maybe you've got to push out your comfort zone. You've got to do day-to-day stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I would never have learned that without fitness, mate. I would never have learned that. Because I don't know about you, like, I don't know what you were like before you started trading, but I worked 9 to 5, lived for the weekend, got smashed, got ruined every weekend, vicious cycle, didn't feel normal by Thursday, Friday back out again. It's just shit. It's a shit way to live. And then you start to like value yourself more, value your time more. No, I can't do that because I want to be at the gym tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And then it carries over, and then starting a business in fitness, starting a business in general, those 2 things just really like worked in harmony really well, I think. So,
But that's why, coming back to the very, very first thing you said about yourself, I am my business.
I know, sad that, innit?
No, not at all. I feel exactly the same, because like as soon as I wake up, I'm just in. That's it. I'm in the business. And some people would probably think, well, what do you do for fun, or what do you like do here? It's like, this is my fun. I love seeing getting the results which helps the business grow, and that's it. And it's just that fucking bump, bump, bump.
And even now, like, and you're probably exactly the same, like in the gym all the time, counting other people's reps, you know, programming for people, writing nutrition plans. I can't wait till for 4:30 this afternoon to train myself.
Yeah.
I can't fucking wait.
Oh, I'm a morning person. Mine's done.
Oh, I'm meant to be in the morning, but you've took me up the
Sorry. Right then, let's go for it then. Fucking hell. We've went hour here, haven't we? An hour and five. Make this one quick and then we'll get to the one piece. What's the funniest thing you've ever seen being a PT?
Funniest thing I've ever seen being a PT. I mean, there's been some mad stuff. Because I'm based in the gym in the centre of Middlesbrough, in the town centre. So it's just like full of characters, but I can't go into that. So I've just got to stay locked in here. Probably when my client brought me these brand new J hooks.
Okay.
You've seen them with all that lifting straps, hooks like that.
Yeah.
And he was buzzing. I was buzzing. I was like, I've got to use them on everything. On everything, no matter what it is. First thing we did, it was pull day anyway. Started doing some pull-ups on this bar. He's repping them out, knocks out 10. I was like, I will crack on properly now, because it wasn't on the programme.
Yeah.
So I turned around, walked off, went up to the T-bar row, just to get him set up. I turned around, I couldn't see him anywhere. So I looked back over at the corner of the gym and he was still hanging there. He's hooked onto the bar. Obviously he's fatigued. I had to go and lift his legs up and hook him off.
Fucking hell.
But yeah.
That's good actually.
It's all right, that, isn't it? Don't try it, like.
So what's the one piece of advice what you would give to someone to lead a leaner, healthier lifestyle?
One piece of advice. If I can only give one.
Let's narrow it down.
Let's not start. Bob threw me right off. One piece of advice is consistency of the boring, basic stuff will smash out the park anything else. Doesn't matter what it is. If you stay consistent to just one thing, if you stay consistent to 15,000 steps a day or whatever, if you stay consistent to preparing your meals all the time, if you stay consistent to being, everything else will work its way out eventually, you know, I think. So just consistency of the basic, boring, not fun stuff. Sorry for the boring answer, but that's what it is.
Basic works.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
We could segment that fucking loads, couldn't we? So right then, where do we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, on Facebook. It's just at Mark Byrne PT. That's about it, really. Need a website.
Did they just drop you a DM for like inquiries?
So just drop me a DM. Or if you go to my story, I'm constantly, you know, calling for action. So reach out on there. Yeah, just check out the page. To be fair, I think it's more about looking at what it is that my business does, and try to pay attention to the content, because I work hard on trying to promote a message. Yeah. You don't have to DM me, but follow me and have a look, and then unfollow me if I'm blagging your head, which might happen.
Sweet. Well, thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you very much for having me, mate. I appreciate it.
No problem.